Hey, Shrug, maybe not today, but sometime can we get your thoughts on government employees and how the Doge impacts appear to be unfolding? As one who decided to say, I'm here to get non-fed opinions. I read a great article about this today, and it was the big read in the FT, and it was called, What Has Elon Musk's Doge Actually Achieved? And the answer is basically fuck all. Basically fuck all, dude. They went through the math. They broke it down. The fact is, this is our government spending in 25. It is above where it was at the same time last year in 24, well above 23, also above 22. We've had no deficit reduction at all. And this is before the new great big beautiful bill going through the House that is going to blow out the deficit, huge tax cuts, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. This deficit is about to skyrocket. I'm not being facetious or inflammatory when I tell you that Doge has done nothing. Nothing. The deficit has not been reduced, will not be reduced. If you look at their website, so much of their claimed cuts are also very difficult to even verify. Like if you click into them, they have like details withheld for legal reasons and no one can verify. No one can match it up with anything. Unmatching paperwork, expired, not real. So it's like only a small portion of the already small cuts. Look at, we're down to 32. Remember how it used to be 2 trillion? Now they're claiming 32 billion of cuts, a lot of which can't be verified, you know? So we're maybe 12 billion of cuts in a multi-trillion dollar, deficit. Or, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The job is not done. The job hasn't even been started. All it did was cause chaos. One of the lines in here was pretty important, which is like from somebody who supported Doge. They were like, hey, I love the idea, but it would have been cool if they spent a year understanding how government works before they even tried to cut anything. They need to take a year figuring out how the government operates before they started tearing it apart. I gotta think Doge has been a colossal top to bottom joke. Basically a cloud cover for an absolute deficit blowout that's about to happen to confuse the issue and make it seem like they're interested in balancing the budget. Just not. I mean, there was no effort made. And again, I can't say this over and over enough, but if you're not going to cut one of the big four, which is, Social Security, Medicare, military, or interest payments, which you can't cut, then you're not actually making any real dents. And of those three, the most Americans will support a cut is the military. And that's been expanded. That's been blown out. The military budget is $1 trillion or 150 billion more, trillion total. I mean, thank you for your question, but my answer is that it sucks. My answer is that it sucks, dude. And I will say this, okay, so the total cut, even if I take them at their word and it's 32 billion, that everything they claimed is real. Despite all this, it's 32 billion. Understand that one of the things they cut is IRS staff. So the ability of the government to actually enforce and collect taxes has been deeply hurt, which means we're going to raise less taxes this coming year. The amount we're going to lose in taxes is well more than the 32 billion that we saved total. So the net result is that Doge likely is costing the US government money. Like all this talk to cost the government money. That's crazy. There's something I want to talk about today that is positive, that I'm positive about with regards to Trump specifically, not Elon, but Trump. I'm going to talk about it today. I'm excited to talk about it. But with regards to Elon's contributions to the government, I have found nothing to be excited about. It all seems like a cover to pretend like there's money being saved while they're actually just doing tax cuts. And for him personally, to get a bunch of contracts for Starlink. The Doge and Elon and government stuff has been great for Starlink, for them to get huge government contracts with America and foreign governments. So I don't know, that's the big beneficiary is Elon himself. Isn't Doge a worthwhile trade-off to get rid of the woke workers building the Obama library? That's the problem. That's the biggest reason I'm mad at Doge. I love Daddy Elon. Everything he does is fucking great, but he's been doing Doge for 6-7 months now. I'm sorry, 5-6 months. And Obama still has woke workers making his fucking library. What is Elon up to? Where is he? He's too busy with the Mars shit to get rid of these woke construction workers. Asleep at the wheel, yeah. He's gonna send them to Mars, that's the plan. I see. But how are we gonna build a Martian base when they can't even build Obama's library? Think about that. What would you in the military budget would you cut specifically? I guess I would cut the stupid hats they wear and the DEI. I would cut the DEI and the hats. That's what I would cut. And I would probably cut, everybody in basic training has to cut their hair, get a buzz cut. That costs barbers time. I would cut the haircuts. Everyone can have long flowing locks while they fight in our military. That's going to save money. It's going to add up. Oh yeah, we only hire balds to save the haircut costs. A bald only military. That's good. I like where we're headed for that. You know what I would do? Easy. I would have the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force fight a war against each other. Whichever service comes out on top is the strongest. We don't need the other two. Save 2/3 the budget. Uh-oh, sorry. Big ideas solve problems. What about all the destruction? I'll have them do the battle in Russia. I'll set the battleground in Russia, and all three of them will fight there. Easy. I'm solving problems. And listen, I'm not saying these are the perfect solutions. I'm just saying they're the best solutions ever offered. Why was inflation so low in April? Tariff impacts have not been counted yet, and we'll see. I mean, they fluctuate every day. But also, I would look deeper into the inflation report for April, because what it showed was Americans have much cheaper gas, so energy costs have actually dropped, but things like food have gone up. So it averages out to a CPI number that's like relatively low inflation, like 2-point-something% inflation. But in fact, for regular people, they're like seeing food costs go up 7%, and they're seeing gas costs go down, 4 or 5 or whatever. So, on net with the basket of goods they choose, it only went up 2.7% or whatever, which is still above the 2% target. But I would say the areas that rose a lot, I think health insurance or healthcare was up like 7-8%. Some certain parts of it are going up at a still steady clip. And just a few things are saving it, which are like gas is still falling. Housing, I think rent and housing are actually starting to fall because, to be honest, there's many places have overbuilt. Many places Airbnbs are going under. Like I'm seeing so many more reports, especially from places like Florida and Texas, where people are very motivated sellers. They're very motivated to try and sell their house, and nobody's buying. Nobody wants your house unless you do it for like $10,000 under asking. Now, this is not all parts of the country, not everywhere. I'm speaking specifically about over areas that had huge COVID booms, Texas and Florida. Isn't that good? Yeah. I mean, yes. Housing prices going down is good. Housing prices going down very quickly would be bad. So whether it's a crash or not, right? But it still slows the economy down when you have people who thought they had a bunch of money in their house and now they don't. It's complicated, as with all things economical. That's Cap, the faster the better. So you were pogging in 2008 and 9 when people lost their homes, higher levels of suicide, depression, Occupy Wall Street. You were pogging faster, as quickly as possible. Won't the rent-seeking class always act like the housing prices declining is a bad thing? I love your praxis here, but I want you to understand that in 2007, the people hurt by declining housing prices were not just the rent-seeking class. It was mostly people who had bought homes on debt and could no longer afford the payments because they were underwater. I understand. Listen, we do need housing prices to go down. Full stop. The Band-Aid has to be ripped off. The problem is there will be pain. There's no way to do it without significant pain to, again, a lot of regular people. A lot of people. Because the system has been set up. It's like Australia. Let's take it out of America. Let's go to Australia. Australia has a horrendous housing problem. It's too expensive. If they fixed the problems and brought housing prices down, it would financially cripple a huge swath of Australians who had been bought into the previous system and taking out huge loans to buy houses they thought would always go up in price. Now they're all underwater. Now they're fucked. Okay? That you have to do it, but understand there will be pain. Now, I think we have to do it no matter what, because again, someone will have to sacrifice sometime somewhere. And if it's going to be somebody, it might as well be wealthier home-owning boomers. If somebody has to sacrifice, they're not all rich. Many of them are people who are, middle class, lower middle class. They're going to hurt. It's not fair, but the majority of people who will be hurt are wealthier landowning boomers. If all the houses are underwater, the only buyer will be Aquaman. When I say underwater, just to be clear, I mean physically under the ocean. That is correct. But somebody dumber than me might mean that the amount they owe on their mortgage is more than the house is worth. So you're just paying essentially extra money for nothing. And most people walk away from that. But I meant like a huge tidal wave is going to come and wash out all of Texas. And you'll have to swim to your house.